Hi, good afternoon everybody. I'm just back from the gym, hence why I'm all scruffy. I want to talk to you this afternoon about indoctrination, military training, institutionalisation. Now, I've been having some very good conversations with people over social media. Some may say arguments, some may say conversations about a provocative post I put on one veteran site saying, were we indoctrinated or institutionalised or along these lines during basic training? And some ex-veteran who'd done 37 years said to me, well, I wasn't indoctrinated, and I replied quite sarcastically with my dark sense of humour with, well, that's something an indoctrinated soldier would say. But he didn't see the funny side and blocked me, so it got me thinking. I've actually dedicated a chapter to this in the book, chapter 2, when I talk about the concept of basic training and how it affects the psyche, especially in younger soldiers. So, what is the purpose of basic training? It's to turn a civilian into a soldier. So how did you do that? What happens to you? What happened to us? Well, first of all, there's changes to your physical aspects where you become fitter and stronger. There's a change to your mindset, a change to your mentality. More personally though, it changes your emotional outlook and how you control your feelings. So let's delve a little bit deeper into these. Now, physically, it makes you physically and mentally robust, and these two for me go hand in hand because you get pushed what you perceived were your limits and then go beyond it. So it makes you a little bit more tougher, and then that inside change that in turn changes your mindset, which will incorporate values and standards a little bit later into that military mindset, which now becomes your doctrine. But emotionally, that's the big one for me, and feeling as well, emotions and feelings, because even when I was a recruit instructor myself, I would scream at the recruits, the trainees, pain is weakness, emotions are weakness, emotions are weak. And I think that very concept sort of like stayed with me for my whole life. So then when it came to my mental health, it was like, well, I can't have bad feelings, poor feelings, because that by its very definition is associated with weakness. I've just realised I'm talking with my hands a lot here. Now, values and standards, these are quite important because these are sort of like the constructs of how you change from a civilian to a soldier, that sort of mentality. So let's go through them, shall we? Respect for others, military one, great values and standards. Loyalty, for me, your loyalty to your regiment, your pals, the army as a whole, but then are they loyal in return? Loyalty, it should be a two-way street, but it never is. Integrity. Well, integrity yet again, the system tells you to have the utmost integrity, but then in turn, do they have integrity? Discipline, good core value and standards, and courage, moral and physical courage, and my favourite, I'm going to go is selfless commitment, because that's where the army really gets you, to be selfless, to put the army's needs before your own, the greater good. Put the army before your wife, your children, your family, your own physical and mental needs. So I'm going to talk a little bit now about fight or flight response. And it's human instinct, when you get into trouble, danger, they either freeze or they run away. Now in the British Army, through behavioural conditioning and training, you get taught to run, or reprogrammed as such, run towards danger. So a prime example of this, I'll give you two examples. First of all, ambush drills. You're patrolling along, ambush left. What do? Contact left, you turn to your left, start engaging and try to fight through that ambush position. That is not normal human behaviour. Very rare, that's more like a jungle ambush or fighting in woods and forests. Let's talk this more modern scenario, an advance to contact. Whether that's in Iraq or Afghanistan, with majority of our soldiers of our generation have done advance to contacts where you know where the enemy is, you're advancing towards them, and you know the bullets and the bombs going to start coming your way in the next minutes or hours. That is not natural human behaviour. Okay, so is it institutionalisation? Is it indoctrination? It's not for me to decide, it's for you to decide yourself. But I will say a couple more things, especially what's pertinent to the guards and the way we do training. When a day's finished, we used to do shining parades. Get your poncho on your bed, get your coveralls on, get your regimental history out, sit in a stress position straddling the old army spring mattress bed, and would sit there for hours doing our boots and buff belt while reading our regimental history. Being told that our regiments are the greatest regiments that there ever were, and so forth. So just think about that. Hours every night, sat in your bed in a stress position, reading over and over your regimental history while cleaning your boots or your buff belt or your forage cap. And of course, at the end of it, you're a proud soldier and everyone else is a bloody civer. So yeah, I just thought I'd just talk a little bit about that. I don't have the answers, but I have gone into a lot of detail in one of my chapters in the book about this. How we're trained, why we're trained a certain way, and how the training's evolved, and is there any long-term detrimental effects to the human psyche. Okay, and that bloke who blocked me on social media, this video's for you. Have a nice day.